going live. We are going live. We are going live.
Listen to you.
Are you? No, shut up. I didn't get a notification.
I did.
Maybe my phone is being Jackie. We're about to find out. Nope, that's Critical Role. Where comes that? Nope. Nope. What you doing? Every day is something else. Let me get onto YouTube on my computer so I can figure out what the hell's going on. And then we're going to go to Telegram. Are you working yet? Oh, we can close you. Why aren't you doing it? Oh, there. I mean, I didn't get the notice, but that's fine. Whatever.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Who needs a notification? Screw them. We know we're here.
Yep. Okay. Let's cut this open. Let's get to the Drag Race chat. And then really? All right.
Is you having
All
issues?
right. Well, there's that. Yeah.
Listen to you.
Trying to do like the thing in Telegram chat, and it wouldn't
Cooperate?
copy. No, like fuck this shit.
That's how I feel about everything now. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck all of it.
Fuck you. Fuck that. Yeah. It was so, well, to not kind of like to dwell on something, but like I was sitting here on a conference call today, and my 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 boss had pretty much done everything that they needed prior to the call. So I'm sitting here on this call going, why am I here? Because they kept deferring to her because she provided all the information already. So it's like, why am I sitting here?
Listen to you.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine. I guess I need to be there to help on certain things, and of course, once we got done, there was um another like response or something like, oh hey, like I needed something else, and instead of talking to my boss, she talked to me, and I was just like, really, really, Queen, like, is this like you didn't think about this on the call? We were on the call for about an hour, so like it must not be that important. And it wasn't. I mean, maybe to her. I just it's I'm having like this doesn't need to be this shouldn't be a thing. There are things here that shouldn't be happening. Like this person, they like they need to end date for something in order to keep things going, and they hadn't done anything since last year. And I'm like, or no, technically earlier last year because it's 2019. And I'm like, I know. I for a fact sent an email about this in like May. So why have you not done anything since January or December of 2018? when I know for a fact I sent something already to ask you guys to do what you are supposed to do. And now you're saying you still haven't done anything. I'm wondering, like, bitch, I sent this shit already. I ain't got to send it all again. Like, why am I sending this stuff all anyway? Just people not doing their job like they're supposed to be doing all the time, and that's a big fucking thing. Like, like this would be so much easier if I didn't have to do the shit that you guys were supposed to fucking do to begin with.
That kind of sounds like a normal day to me.
Basically. I'm just like, there's so much I'm over, and that's one of the things I'm over. It's like, if you bitches would do what you're supposed to do, I wouldn't have to worry about half the things I have to worry about. And I can get along with my day.
So it sounds to me like you're not quite over it officially.
No. I'm not quite there. I was earlier, like a few months ago.
Right.
But anyway.
Speaking of over it, you ready to get this show started?
I am over this pre-show. Get this show on the road.
Yeah. You're like, enough chit chat, inventing bullshit. Let's get it done, shall we?
Let's do this. Let's get it done.
All right, let's start in a 3 and a 2 and a 1.
RuPaul Drag Race.
Hey, kitty girls, it's March 26, 2020, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time, Season 12, Episode number 4, The Ball. Whatever the fuck that means.
That's all I think about when I hear that.
Welcome to the show, and for those of you that don't know, there are two fabulous co-hosts. I happen to be Gary, and with me is my co-star.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Damon. No, I'm kidding. That's awful. Edit.
Nope. It stays in, bitch.
Yeah, it's in there. It's live. Fuck. We're live.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Damon. Hi, welcome. I have put on something that was supposed to be silvery and it's looking very white. But that's okay, though. I glam it up for you.
Aw, that's so nice of you.
Man. Yeah. Granted, you can't see it past my glasses. If I go back this far, it's like, ooh, what the... Anyway.
Well, to be fair...
It's really for me.
Well, it is... Girl, I totally get that. To be fair, the one thing I cannot say is you look a little ashy around the eyes. Because that's not what it is. It's very obvi. Like...
Yeah.
You did something to have some fun.
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's jump in because, surprise, surprise. We did an episode. We're not like skipping a week and doing 2 at a time. We're trying not to. There's this little thing going on. So,
we're at home.
This Miss International,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Miss Corona V.
Yeah. Miss COVID-19. Rumor is it she gets around. Yeah. So because of that, there's more opportunities. So it's quite possible that we might be able to do this weekly. Yeah. But that being said, let's jump into our first section to talk about episode number 4, shall we?
Yes.
All right, so kids, put the pedal to the metal. Two things happened. We had a mini challenge and we had a maxi challenge. The mini challenge was really unexpected, in my opinion. So it was the Beehive Jive.
Yes.
Girls had to dress up in beehive outfits, then do a little dance. And for you motherfuckers out there that don't know that bees communicate through dance, go watch some Nat Geo. Get caught up.
Get caught up.
I don't know how many people were like, I don't understand why they're dancing.
I don't either.
I'm like, really?
Hmm.
Like, that's how they communicate inside the hive. They wiggle their butts. Anyways. And then Maxi Challenge was balls to the walls, eleganza. Yeah. We'll talk more about that, I'm sure. So, Damon, what were your thoughts on the mini and the Maxi challenges?
Just I'll put it like this. It was a little too soon.
Okay.
I just feel like it's early, like a challenge like this where there's like 3 outfits and what have you. It seemed a little early for that. Like when there's not like a dozen queens or whatnot on the show. Usually there's like time that has passed before they go into something this kind of big, at least in history. But I mean, it worked? Question mark. I liked the Beehive challenge. I thought it was cute. It's weird the things people will do in quote unquote quick drag that I don't think they would normally do. Like one of my not favorites, but one of the things I saw, like I think it was Britta that like put like this yellow and black makeup all over her face. Somebody did it and was wearing like this braid wig, and I just was like, I don't think you would ever wear something like that and like makeup and hair kind of thing. I don't think that was you. And I don't know if that was just because you're like, I need to do something really quick and I needed to be black and yellow but whatever. Gary.
I said 48 fucking looks. Now, if y'all been paying attention, you probably heard in other shows where they discussed it or they recapped it and they kept talking about 36. Honey. In the mini challenge, everybody had to dress up and be a bee. And every single one of them was different. And there's a dozen girls, so that's 12. Plus the first 2 runways and the one that you had to make. So in one episode, we had 48 looks.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how far in the season we're going to get, and these girls are going to tap out because they got nothing.
Yeah.
They done worn everything, and I mean everything that they brought.
I mean, my hope is that they got the note. I know we all know that they get some kind of list of things that are happening of some caliber. What that means is up for interpretation. Do they get every challenge but not in the order? Do they get ideas for things but not necessarily like concrete? Like you need, like for example, this one, the ball, they had to bring 2 looks and they were going to make one on site essentially. So did they get like, you're going to have to do 2, or maybe did they get 1 and or what have you, like, and what were they told? Those are things that I've always wondered, like, what is the list look like? What does that look like? Because obviously some girls came with shit, like they knew what they were doing. So
I think it depends on how easy the category is to know. Like, so if you were told to bring something sporty that related to balls, then good on you.
Yeah.
Like that one I could see you could go really far with. Second category, I do not think they were told that it was like the wife of a basketball player. I think it was like housewife glam or something, like to be mysterious. So, and then of course they had to make their third. So, yeah. 48 fucking looks in an episode.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot, and it's so much in the very beginning. Yes, does it give you an opportunity to see the ladies as versatile for all their different looks? Sure, but
maybe
it's almost like, yeah. Everybody that's recapping and talking about the outfits, none of them are talking about every single one. They're like, hell no.
We ain't got time for all this.
All right, they're all focusing on 36, and they're like, I ain't gonna talk about 36 different outfits. Screw you. So they pick and choose what they want to talk about.
There were 36 looks. Next.
Yeah. Agreed. Speaking of next, you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Gentlemen, start your engines, and may the best woman win.
Stomp the runway, baby. So, category is balls. Like, literally, balls.
Yeah.
All the queens are given balls to play with and to somehow incorporate into their look. So what'd you think, Damon?
Yeah. I put down too much, too little, too late. And it's kind of a double entendre, well, obviously, but like the three separate ideas for this runway. There was Lady Ballers, which was meant to be like you're a girl playing a sport, for lack of a better phrase. Then it was Basketball Wife Realness, which whatever. I get that was just so blah that I don't know, if you are there are shows out there. There's one I think that was called The Game. Starred one of the Tamara Mowry. Anyway, it was a really fun like sitcom-y show, dramedy kind of show, and it was kind of this idea of like the girls behind the guy kind of thing and playing the game and all that stuff. And that's kind of what I was like thinking of when I was like, oh, this is an idea behind this show. So I'm like, okay, I understood the idea behind it. I don't know if it was fully executed well, except for a few. There were a few that I think really did a good job with it. But the too much, too little, too late is I want to like cut it up. Too much. There are some people that don't know when to stop. Like sometimes you can just throw a whole lot of stuff together and you think it will work and it doesn't. And then there's the uber edited too little. I'm talking about Aiden. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm talking specifically about Aiden. There were a lot of queens out there that were knocking her look, and I can kind of see why, but she came up with this premise. She was going for a concept, a Betty Page referee, whatever kind of thing. Although I don't think she got the referee part until someone told her about it, but whatever. And if you've seen pictures of Betty Page, she's dolled up. She's got a very unique hairstyle. She's a bombshell. She's corseted. She's, not a lot of clothing. She's meant to be like a sex symbol. And if you say that and then you see what she did, it matches, right? Like, to me, it matches. Maybe not fully, but like,
right.
You get the concept,
right?
Yeah. However, I think Aiden didn't realize that this is a drag pageant, essentially, or a drag show. This is a drag runway. And while the concept was there and it was a very concise concept, it just wasn't enough. I've been mentioning this off and on with Jim for the past couple of days because I've been hearing about people not liking her look. And I'm like, I liked her look. I just think there was not a lot there. And I'm trying to think of things that she could have done to kind of elevate it to give the more concise thing. And there are things she could have done. The biggest one, just some fucking like black stockings with some garters that were made out of the same balls and material or something like that. Instead of like stoning the tights, maybe done like a crisscross pattern with the little balls to like kind of give it that like cute bunny kind of look.
Right.
It would have elevated the look and added a little more to it to give it fulfilling the challenge more and
Right.
adding more to it.
I think the thing I realized that would have also helped is if she'd had gloves.
Well, she had gloves, but they were like black see-through. They were like a sheer black fabric.
Oh, I don't remember. I'd have to go back.
Yeah, so much so that I mean, honestly, you probably don't remember because they weren't very memorable.
Because I was just thinking, if you had elbow-length opera-style gloves that were black and white striped appropriately to go with the referee thing, then that I think would have like helped. And I agree with you, like knee highs as a fishnet with like little balls all over them could have been cute as well. Something, but
yeah, something that just kind of add to it. But again, and like too much, too little, too late. Like sometimes you have a concept in mind. The too much is definitely Rockham, and then too late is my. I think I hate to say this, kind of to Britta. Like, there are some things that happened that I think you didn't think of a concept far enough in advance, and you didn't have time to really execute something, so you came up with this pineapple look.
or as Michelle Visage calls it, a corn apple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That was just What about you?
So I just simply said edit it, darlings. Like it's just, sweetie. Like, you need to do some things. I don't disagree with you on Aiden that there could have been more that was done. But I feel like they're just like, some people like hit it really well and other people not so much. And and I don't mean that like there was too much all over the place. Like Nikki Doll's outfit, I wasn't a fan of. Like it was okay. She's getting compared a lot to the Roxy Andrews candy dress. And I get it because it's a similar kind of silhouette style. Like, the peplums, like, on the hips kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not a fashion person, but someone like made reference, I think, to Gautier or whatever. And like, I thought it was a little peculiar at first, but I was like, all right, makes her, gives her hips, like, so I wasn't really upset about that. I just figured, well, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So like with Rockham, I think there were one of two things that you could have done with it. You could have done more to reinforce the cage structure, like, and make that the highlight. Because the problem is there was so much going on top that the bottom looked unfinished. And I think, like, if you had done more down there and made it more solid of a structure, like, you wouldn't be as distracted by it. Or, as I think it was said on maybe the pit stop or on photo review, just cut it off. Like, stop at the knee and be done with it. Like, make it, like, that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. It's just, it was awkward. And it was a lot for your eyes to, like, take in.
Yeah.
And that didn't really help things at all.
Yeah. And I thought there was a lot around the head and around the face. Like the garment itself, like the gown, I didn't have too much of an issue with, but I did find it a little difficult to see her face. So I think there could have been some editing in that area,
But
So I just felt that there needed to be some edits. I will say that Miss Hall pulled off a look because the edit made it seem like it was gonna look like crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came out and I was like, oh, boop. She got
Yep.
it. Like
Yep.
she one-upped Monet Exchange. Like
Yep.
she did the bubble thing, bubble bath.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, she wore a turban again. Yes, we got to see her arms and her shoulders. Like, I mean, it's like she played her assets, you know?
Yeah. So that's kind of the thing I was like, I like to compare quote unquote things. That was kind of, it was monochromatic. It was kind of like everything kind of stuck to maybe a corset or something along those lines. There wasn't a whole lot there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar to, say, Aiden, who just stuck a bunch of balls to a corset. But this was a very put together, a little over the top, but not over the top kind of look. I got what she was going for.
Right.
Like, I got exactly what she was going for, and it looked good.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, the only other one out of the group that I was really impressed by, and I still like going back and looking at, was Jan. It was monochromatic, that it was all based on blue and, like, shades of blue.
Yeah.
And she had very much a Hunger Games Effie kind of hair on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that bubble inflatable, like, bottom half,
Yeah.
like, that looked like it almost had LED lights or something in it to, like, outline the hexagon pattern. Like, it was beautiful. The only thing I didn't like was that there were some weird peekaboos, like, which I think was just the way it was initially made. I don't think that was the way Jan intended it. So there was, like, some awkward, like, I could see through to the legs, and I was like, but it's just like a tiny little sliver. It looked so weird.
Yeah.
To me. But, like, it was so unique, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, girl.
I did like it. I really did like it. I wish, I was thinking to myself, like, she did what I thought Britta was going to do, which was take the like that big yellow ball,
right,
and then make it like into a skirt. Like, as she walked out with it, and like, I know she was maybe joking a little bit, but like, she started cutting at it, and you saw her doing something with it in the workroom. And I was kind of like, okay, well, if that, I think, would have been fun, you know?
Right.
Like something up top, and the big ball is like the ball skirt or whatever.
Yeah, or she could have done it kind of like barrel style, you know, like what I'm talking about, like the Niagara Falls, like over the falls in a barrel kind of thing, where it's just like straps and then just like this big, you know, piece that goes around the torso and stuff. But she could have got it from the bust line to like the knees maybe, and just worn a yellow like slip, you know, of some, you know, sort underneath it, briefer, whatever, you know, to like kind of hide the inside. Maybe some yellow gloves. Although I realize like all these girls gotta bring all this shit with them. So here's a hint to you future girls that want to be Drag Race contestants. Get this shit. So Bob the Drag Queen in his season, he took sewing patterns with him.
Yes.
In his luggage. And I was like, that's a smart bitch. Like, already knew his size, knew everything, had all the pattern pieces cut out, brought them with. I was like, smart bitch. So my feeling on it is, not only should you do that, as well as, who was it? Was it, not Pearl, Fame? One of them brought a book of all their pre-planned designs.
I think it was Miss Fame.
You know what I mean? Like, they were all sketched out, and there was all this stuff, and they were allowed to bring it, and I was like, oh, who this bitch? Like, she already got all this stuff, like, you know, imagined out or whatever. And I really liked that idea. So my point is, if you're going to take a pattern for gloves, girl. Like, because if you got a wall of fabric, you should be able, and you know how to sew, you should be able to run over, grab yourself something so you can make some gloves in any color that matches. I mean, good Lord, Manila Luzon took, what, like 12 pairs of shoes and like a rainbow of spray paint, and then just sprayed the shoes every time to go with the outfit. I was like, that is smart, bitch.
Yeah.
There's ways to do this thing.
take a white shoe and just put it all there. Yeah.
Right. All right. You ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay.
The time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
All right. Lip sync for your life, children. So the bottom two are Britta and Rock'em Sakura.
Ooh.
Now, the song they have to sing, which they drop some coin for to get the rights for this, and I actually think they've done it before, is S&M by Rihanna.
Yep.
So, Damon, what were your thoughts on the lip sync?
Well, this was not the bottom I expected. Although, obviously when you get to the top, when they go to the top and bottom three, like, I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm like, I honestly, just because of despite how I feel like I've been talking about Aiden, I expected her to be in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of expected Britta or Arkham to be in, like, Britta to be in the bottom and Rockham to stay. And the only reason I felt that way was because I felt that Rockham had done, while she had done this big, like, elaborate, like, thing, it looked decent. It was hard. There was a lot to take in, but it was a lot. But it was something. It fit the challenge. Balls to the walls, eleganza, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I don't think Britta's did.
So, in comparison, in terms of like what the theme was, you feel like one of them was more on theme and the other one not so much.
Yeah. That's my opinion, but whatever. So again, I wasn't expecting it, but I understood. I understood why they were in the bottom, but and there's a part of me that's sitting here like, oh well, yeah, Aiden wasn't the greatest, but it was decent. So we'll see. Gary.
So, I'm going to be honest because some other people kind of voiced it. And then when I heard this opinion, I was like, yeah, I agree. Double elimination avoided.
Ooh.
Why, children?
Some shade.
Because Shantae, Britta stays. While Rock'em Sakura sashays away. And my feeling on it is, I didn't think either of them did that great at the lip sync. And here's my issue, because if you're going to keep Britta, then you should have kept Rock'em. Because Rock'em, once she got the damn bottom of the outfit off, yes, she struggled for the first 30 seconds. But once she got that off, she turned it out. Was like, oh no, bitch, I ain't going down without a fight. So like, she was pulling all the stunts and that, and I was like, okay, As a side note, Leslie Jones was just too much for my taste for this episode.
Ooh.
Girl, put an ice cream cone in your mouth. Shush. Just a little. Everybody was like, oh, she's like how all the fans would be. Fuck no. This fan, I would know how to shut up. I would mind Mama Rue. Like, I would not cause a commotion every 5 seconds.
And that's a read, children. That's a read. I loved it, kind of. Like, it was cute, kind of. Like, she's very, like, I get it, she's very fangirly, and it's becoming very, like, okay, Like, you do realize you're a judge on the show. Like, you do kind of have to be somewhat composed,
Mhm.
as it were. You know, we're not talking like Joel McHale. Like, I just like, what the fuck was that? But like, just like keep it down a little bit. You literally had a moment with the queens backstage, like, which, I mean, if you watch Untucked, watch Untucked. Like, this is, I know we don't talk about Untucked, but this is kind of a thing. Like, during Untucked, she comes back and she's talking with the queens and kikiing with them, like she's a fucking drag queen, spilling tea and all kinds of shit. Like, I liked that
Mhm.
more than I liked her on the show,
Okay.
like during the show, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because she was able to be a little bit more real. If that, I don't, kind of.
Right.
I hate that kind of feeling, but that's the way I feel about it. Like, she was sitting down with them and kind of pointing some stuff out that she saw in her, during the episode. I was like, oh, yeah, call that shit out.
Mhm.
Do that shit, because that's the thing I want. Sometimes you need to do,
Mhm.
and they don't always get that opportunity to hear that. And I think having someone be that realistic with the queens is nice. It reminds me kind of, to a point, kind of like when Lady Gaga, was in Untucked during one
Mhm.
of the seasons. Having said that, however, Leslie Jones is not Lady Gaga at all.
Right.
I think Lady Gaga gave the way that she presented it was very like mentor kind of, feeling for it.
Mhm.
Leslie was a bit of a mentor-let,
Mm.
as it were.
Yeah.
Um,
I felt during the main episode that she showboated a lot, and I was like,
oh yeah,
that's not really necessary, girl. Like, we get it, you're a fan. Like, I think if she had been 50%, like if half of the amount of times they showed in the edit, they took some of that away, I wouldn't have been as bothered. But it really felt like she was just like boom, boom,
hmm
boom, boom, and I was just kind of like, I get that you want to make the edit, like you really want to like, but that's the danger. You give them too much, and they could use all of it, and then you look like an ass.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Where's that shade button?
oh, you mean this? Yeah. Speaking of, you ready to move on to our last category?
Yes.
All right.
Cover girl, put the bass in your walk. Cover
All right. It's time for snaps and eye rolls, honey, aka hits and misses, the highs and lows of the episode.
And I'm glad I get to be here for this one this time.
Yeah, because you're not doing that Annie M. like Dorothy shit with the tornado. That was crazy, y'all. If you missed it last week, right about this time, Damon's phone goes off and he's like, oh. And then he's like, okay, just keep going. And then like a minute or two later, he was like, I gotta go.
There's some tornado sirens going off. So like,
Yeah.
I can't be here right now.
Right. Like I gotta grab my shit and my boo and go hide in the closet. Yeah. Kind of freaky.
Yeah, it was.
So
So
that being said, no wicked witches to be found in a moment.
No.
Damon, what were your snaps for the episode?
So I actually give high snaps to Miss Gigi. She won this challenge, and I see why. We've learned, in her first episode that her mother is a talented seamstress and does all her costumes, and she's learned from her, and she pulls it off. She pulls off. I mean, I'm assuming she didn't make the first two, but she pulls off some very fun looks. I loved her Heather's look. Loved it. Fucking loved it. And then the balls to the walls was particularly my favorite. I like, even though it seemed like, if you think about it, it's the thing we've been talking about that kind of sucks, where she just kind of stuck balls, but she did so she did this very cute, like fluffy, sleeved, short skirted kind of dress, and then she put some like very like I think she strategically placed like these specific kind of balls on there
Mm-hmm.
that look. They're not quite yarn balls. They look very like wicker-ish kind of thing, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
they're, she grabbed a whole bunch of them and she put them on there, and it looked very good. She made this hat, and I mean, I wasn't a big fan of like the ones that were all like under the dress per se, but I got the idea, and
Right.
it worked, and it looked cute. Like it all came together very nicely. Um, so I give props to Gigi for like doing good.
Okay.
Good for her. For her.
I can see that.
How about you? What are you?
So I kind of concur. I said snaps to the Gigi and Jan show. I really felt that they did well, like excelled. Jan to me is becoming a front runner. I think she's talented,
Mm-hmm.
composed, has it together, like has a good eye. Gigi is a lot of legs and a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
well composed like outfits. I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel impressed by Gigi's personality, and that's not a read. I'm kind of neutral on her right now. I really need her to kind
Mm-hmm.
of evolve or blossom or something. Um,
Yeah.
and this is nothing that Gigi can do about this, but she's got pretty harsh features. Like she's got a
Mm.
long face with these cheekbones and this chin. So like the very first time I saw her on Cam as a Boy, I was like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. And she's got these very big eyes,
Yeah.
like as a
So
boy. And I'm just like,
yeah, I'm not quite sure like how much she can do with that. I mean, yes, there's plenty of magic you can use with paint on your face, girl, but
mm-hmm.
difficult for me to gauge. So
Good God, she's 21.
I know.
Fuck that shit.
So yeah, I thought that both of them did really, really well. So I was pleased with them.
Yeah.
So that's,
I really liked Jan's basketball wife like outfit. I love that kind of sparkly like jumpsuit.
mm-hmm,
That's what I would think of. Like she's going to the game to see her boo
mm-hmm,
play in the game. So she's going to dress the part. She's not going to be like overdone. Like the Real Housewife thing was like you said, that's a little much, I think, for a basketball wife. Sometimes you kind of have to go like simple, but you can't really
right.
go simple because it's drag. But I think she did a really good job of like finding. I don't know who made this, but I love it. It looked really good on her. It worked
Mm-hmm,
really well, and we've obviously seen that she has some like sports background,
mm-hmm.
so it worked. I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean that was the one outfit that when someone walked out, I went ooh,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked how it shimmered, how it moved, like there was a part of me that's like I would wear that. Like the hoodie
Mm-hmm.
alone, it
Yes.
just looked comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay.
I bet she didn't have to tuck.
Mm,
No, no, I doubt it. But you know what I mean. Like it's just
right.
like
So now let's talk about eye rolls, aka the misses. Damon.
I give my eye rolls to Britta's ego.
Hmm.
It's been something that I've been feeling for a little while, and again, edit may be part of it, but like she thinks a lot of herself, like a lot. Like she's apparently this big queen in New York. Well, I ain't seen it yet.
And she's also a big queen wherever she goes.
I mean that too.
Let me explain myself. I don't think of her as a fat girl, but
Mm-hmm.
in drag, she's a bigger girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like she pads
Yeah.
big. Like
Yeah.
big, busted, big hip, big thigh. Like
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
which to be fair, for proportionizing, She
Of
does
course she
well
does.
because she got a wide face.
Mm-hmm.
So she put big hair around it to make her face look smaller. Like she knows what she's doing. But
Yes.
but then like the personality, like it's like everything's big.
God, yes. And I like, so just like the things I've been noticing, and I know I'll go ahead and say, like I said, part of it I think is some of the edit because of, they can't really throw Sherry Pie as much out there as they probably did beforehand. But I was like, there's just this like last the episode with the Del Re, like the World's Worst, that episode as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the shit that she was saying to about Aiden and to Aiden about this, I'm just like we pulled you through. I'm like, no, y'all all sucked. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, y'all sucked. Like, I didn't get to talk about this in the last episode, so I'm going to talk about it now. That sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't the greatest premise to begin with, but then you took whatever you could kind of put into it and sucked it dry. It did not work.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was y'all's idea and y'all's like, we're pulling Aiden along, I think Aiden needed new partners. But Britta I've gotten in these past few episodes, she thinks a lot about herself, and I'm not having it. Like, I can see already that I feel like you're going to be going home soon. And if you put one more goddamn thing on your fucking shoes, I'm going to strike you fucking down.
Yeah.
We don't need like stuff all on the shoe. That's not necessary. If you can do it good up here, you're good.
Right.
You can maybe put one. But don't fill the fucking shoe. Gary.
All right. So, Damon, I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure, honey.
What did Britta wear for the very first runway? Like category, like portion. Do you remember what she wore?
Hold up. So, Lady Ballers. Ooh, fuck. No.
So here's why I ask. Which queen had the horse on a stick?
That was Widow.
That was Widow?
Yeah, that was Widow.
Okay. So not Britta. All right. So
No.
now keep that in mind, because what my comment is for eye rolls is, where was the ball?
I don't know.
Again, I'll ask the question, where was the ball? Because you came out and hippity hoppity all around with a horse on a stick between your legs. I didn't see no ball. I was so confused. I was like, this is about a ball. This is about a sport. You look like a fucking fat jockey on a horse. Like on a little hobby horse. I was so like, I don't understand what's happening. Now, I think everyone's screaming and yelling at me because it's supposed to be obvious that it was polo.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. Didn't see no ball. Didn't see no whacker, like stick, nothing. So you just get to parade around in velvet? With a little horsey head on a stick?
I did not like that look.
I was like, no, honey. Mm-mm.
No.
Nay. Nay. Nay.
No.
I will say this. For the last of the three looks, I'm still uncomfortable, but pleased with the Widow Von'Deuce look. That
The bell.
macrame upside down mousetrap looking outfit confused me greatly. But I'll give her props because the one thing I realized is that I was not paying attention to her size. Because it didn't like, because she's a bigger girl, but she tends to look a little like wide to me. Like she's making herself bigger or something. I was like, you don't need to do that, girl. Like if you're a big girl, you don't need pads. I don't know if she's padding or not, but like it's kind of the way she cuts her waist or something. I haven't been able to figure it out. But in this outfit, I was like, oh, like this is a thing. And
yeah,
I don't know if this is intentional, but if you paid attention to the colors of the palms or whatever that made up that outfit, the first thing I thought was, girl, are you shouting out to the bear community? Because I see brown, I see yellow, I see gray, I'm pretty sure I see black. Like, looks like the colors of the bear pride flag to me.
That's possible.
I was like,
Go
very
ahead,
curious.
Widow.
So
Give it up for your chunky friend. Yes.
So I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it. I was a little confused and confounded by it. But you know, like it was better than Britta's. So
yes. God. Anyway,
it was right up there in the weird esoteric with Rock'em Sakura's as far as I was concerned. So I was like, it's not a fail.
I liked Widows more than I liked Rock'em's.
All right. I figured you did.
Yeah. Like Widows seemed like, and on I think Pit Stop, they liked it as well. Like Bob and oh, who was on Pit Stop with her this year today?
Betty?
Anyway.
Acid Betty?
Huh? Yes, Acid Betty. Oh, good Lord. How could I forget that? But they both liked it, and I liked it too. I will admit I like the ponytail a lot, the braided ponytail with the little balls on it that she held. I think she had to hold it because if she had put it on the back, it would have broken the dress. But whatever. Or it was too heavy.
Could be.
Yeah.
So for first round out of 3, Widow. Where's the damn ball? Seriously. Like, Gigi came out with her Heather's look, which I was... Honestly, I was not taken by. So many people apparently lost their shit over it, and I was like, meh. I was more bothered by the fact that she actually, with the croquet mallet, hit the ball and sent it across the stage. And I was like, bitch, you break one of them light bulbs.
That's coming out of your salary.
I was like, you get a $5,000 tip, you go pay some of that back.
Yeah, $5,000 tip is going to be $4,985 to pay with that $15 light bulb. Like,
yeah, or less.
I know it.
Take out the labor for the union. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, any other final thoughts before we get into our closing spiel?
Again, like I think, like, try to go back to my original thought. I felt that this was too early. This kind of ball category or challenge. I think it was just a little too early. While it's fun and challenging, that's a lot to throw into an episode. And I feel like we didn't get a real opportunity to see a whole lot because of the fact that there was so much.
Right.
Like usually did Rue come in the workroom? No. Yeah, I don't think she did.
Rue was only there for the Beehive Jive. Announced the theme, explained it, and then got out.
Yeah. Like there's a part of me like normally when they do this category, this challenge later on, usually Rue comes by and kind of talks to some of the queens about what they're doing and what their looks are and what have you. So,
yeah. I kind of wonder if they shook up the order of things this season on purpose to like throw the girls off their game. Because if you think like, oh well, the ball comes later. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think like things happen in a certain order, I'm wondering if like we're gonna get new types of challenges later in the season when we normally would expect to see other stuff, or if they kind of reverse it, you know, and like put some easier stuff later on. You know, with like a hard mini challenge, but then like a lighter maxi.
Huh, we'll see.
We shall. Speaking of such things, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do that in several ways. You can go to our website, cubsoutloud.com. You can also send us an email, which is cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail message at 361-COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. We'd be happy to play it on the show. If you want to get in touch with us in social media land, pretty much put in Cubs Out Loud as one word anywhere. It could be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, heck, right here on YouTube if you don't happen to catch us live. You can join us on our chit chat over on Telegram at tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR. That's Cubs Out Loud Drag Race is what the COLDR stands for. And you can kind of join the conversation there. Speaking of which, conversation's been a little light, kind of surprised, but then again, everyone's got stuff they're busy dealing with.
Yeah.
You know,
I think what we tended to do was like we would give like the 48-hour. So if you're watching this and we'll probably put it in the chat there, like we're putting essentially a 48-hour like after the episode, like no spoiler kind of thing.
right.
And if you've watched it, you can say that you've watched it. But if you get to that 48, we're done with that 48. If you haven't watched it by then, like don't follow the chat or like
Right.
expect to be spoiled.
And since the episodes are airing on Friday nights, basically it's like, about Sunday night, what maybe 10 p.m. or something Eastern. It's kind of like, it's all free, fair if you want to chat about it. So speaking of such things, if you would like to support Cubs Out Loud, you can also go to our merchant store at Zazzle, that's ZAZZLE.com/CubsOutLoud. And there you could get a fabulous Cubs Out Loud Drag Race t-shirt like the one that Damon's wearing. A nice soft blue color. It's our Cubs Out Loud, growling bear logo. And she got a tiara on.
She got a tiara. Oh, wait, it's over here.
Yeah, and it says has pink Drag Race towards the bottom, or you can get a hot pink shirt like the one I'm wearing, variety of colors to be supportive. You could also get yourself a clutch, because Bob the Drag Queen taught us, that a woman do need a purse. To
get a proper purse.
Yeah. So you could also become a patron over at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. For as little as $1 a month, you can be supportive, help us with our costs for like equipment and other various things. If you would like to help promote us, you could rate us on iTunes. You could give us 5 stars. We would love that. You could also subscribe on Google Play Podcasts. Just kind of give a little love out there. Damon, if they want to give you some loving, where would they find you online?
If you wish to give me some loving, you can find me as TheaterCub79 on most bear-related sites, or as pup_Umbra on Twitter.
For a moment, I thought you was going to start talking about Cash Me, Venmo, like, because that's the thing everybody doing now.
Yeah. No, I'm not there yet.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Garbear73. That's GARBEAR73. And with that, we're gonna wrap up the show with that RuPaul exit song that they're using in this season, American.
Like you do. I'm American. I am American. Red, white, and blue. I am American. I am American. Just like you do.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my.
Uh-huh. I forgot to say I was drinking.
Oh, no. I knew. I could see.
It's just little. It's some um still some. I still have some of this like Canada whatever. It's the apple, and I threw in some Fireball because I had some little bitty bottles of that, and whatever Crystal Light Jim had made. I think it's the strawberry watermelon one.
Mm.
So it didn't really. It was a very interesting flavor combination. I wasn't hating it. I probably wouldn't have put in the Fireball if I had known it was the strawberry watermelon.
Mm.
Because it just it was the like flavor that was kind of like this isn't really working,
Mm-hmm.
but it was good.
Well, good.
It was pretty good. Yeah, that's why it's empty now.
Yeah, I debated on like getting a cocktail, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood. But then again, like I said, it's hard
Mm-hmm.
because, unlike a great number of people out there, I am, as the girls say, booked and blessed. So,
Mm-hmm.
my job is actually with the local county government, so they keep me very busy because it happens
I'm
to be the
sure.
Department of Health. Crazy. So yeah, I have this new job as considered essential. So it's slightly longer days. I still got dad I'm taking care of. So
Girl.
so I'm checking in on him once a day because I'm not even able to get away for lunch to check on him, which he's doing okay. I made
Yeah,
sure that
yeah,
we got
yeah.
him stocked up and taking care of some
Mm-hmm.
stuff and
I had I get to work from home, so that's really nice. I've been kind of enjoying it. Um, the only reason I'm not is just because I'm home pretty much all day
mhm.
and all night and all day and all night. So I'm kind of like um, I like want to do things, but also I have to be realistic and be like, girl, what can you do? A lot of shit's closed right now, so it's like, what can you do? Um, so I've been like, okay, I can just sit my cute little ass down and work on some stuff at the house and have fun and enjoy some social interactions via webcam, not chatterbait, but like in general.
So she says.
Oh, honey, no, I ain't got that. I ain't got that time. Like usually, I work. Um, I'm working. I get up like I'm normally would be for going to work, which is like 7. I come down here about 8, and then I work until 5, and then maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, depending on the day. Like today, I worked till about 4:55. Yesterday, though, I worked till almost 6:30 because I wanted to get some shit done that needed to get done. So I was like, I needed a little break today, so I'm going to leave a little early. So I did, and um, but then like, okay, I get off that, and then I'll sit and talk with Jim for a little bit, and then he'll make dinner, and we'll watch TV or we'll do something, and then I go to bed, and then I wake up and repeat,
Mhm.
wash, wash, rinse, repeat. But I'm lucky still, and I keep saying that because I've got a job and I'm able to work from home and do the job from home. Is it absolutely 100% perfect? No, but it's getting stuff done that needs to be done,
Mhm.
and the closures and stuff have given us a little bit of a reprieve, a little bit of a time to kind of like focus on getting things, you know, forward, current, recent, because that's been one of our problems for a little while. Is we've had a lot of shit that has just been like we've just not been able to get to because it's so much going on at the same time.
Right.
Or we don't have to worry about that so much. So we can try to work on getting that backlog cleared up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't have available to me. Like in a weird way, my life is still like it was before all of this. Like I'm still busy. So like people are like, "Oh, I'm watching Tiger King. This crazy, batshit crazy shit on Netflix." Like I'm binging that, and I'm like, still, I'm like, I can't even like try to keep up with what little I watch. I'm still not caught up on a series on Netflix, and they keep sending me an email about once every 2 weeks. Don't forget to finish. Yeah, no shit, bitch. Like I'm trying,
like, honey, I ain't got time. By the time I get done, the last thing I want to do is sit and watch a show for 3 hours. Like I'm going taking my gay ass to bed. Like,
or you laid out on the couch because you got comfy, and you're watching some stuff on YouTube, and the next thing you know, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and shit's still auto playing. Your ass done passed out for a while.
I done fell asleep. Like I had to. I literally have to stop stuff because I finally caught up with Critical Role. I was going to mention that, but like I literally caught up, and as soon as I caught up, it's like, oh great, now I can start watching it live. Well, it's on at like 10 o'clock our time, so I can watch like the first half live, but after that, like I'm going to bed. And I had when I was trying to catch up on the shows, like the earlier episodes, there would be a point where I'd be like, I can't watch this because I am falling asleep because I'm trying to like watch as much as I can, but like it's late and you're laying on the couch, like you said, like I'm just laying on the couch, and it won't stop if you don't hit stop or pause. Like it'll just keep going.
Right.
I had one day, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. No, it was a little bit earlier than that. I was watching an episode, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to try to get through this next hour, and I woke up, and it was like, oh, they're in a totally different place now. Is this the same episode? Am I watching the same episode? And I was at least still watching the same episode, but it